G'day, I'm Katie from the Feel Good family. My family are proud brand ambassadors for Adventure Pumps, and I'm thrilled today to be joined by Alan Hungerford. He's the founder of Adventure Pumps. He goes by the title Chief Recreational Officer, which I absolutely love. Alan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Katie. It's great to be here.
Now, you've had quite the journey. You've recently brought Adventure Pumps to the market, yourself and your wife, Carolyn. Long days, I'm sure, really long nights. Tell us a little bit about your journey of, dreaming up this product and then getting it out there.
Yeah, so it's a 1 year story, pretty much. We travelled for 18 months full-time as a family. My prototype pump kit that we used, we realised it would become a product, could become a product, so we decided to launch Adventure Pumps. It took a whole year to structure everything, trademark everything, get everything right before we launched. And then we launched a few weeks ago, and our plan was to sell a kit or two a week and gradually build up, but as soon as we launched, things got pretty hectic. We sold sort of 50 in the first week or thereabouts, and a few midnight stints building pump kits and invoicing customers and things like that. So it's been an amazing journey. We're so glad we launched it because it's been an instant success.
Fantastic. Well, we think you're such an inspiration to, have this idea and actually get it out to market, a great Aussie business success story. Today we're going to answer some of those customer questions, the top things that people may be wanting to know to, settle on whether or not they're going to purchase. And we would recommend you purchase one. We've been testing our Adventure Pump for the last few months on our full-time travels, and it's been an absolute game changer for us. So let's start with the power options for the pump.
Yeah, so when we launched, again, our thinking was a slow build-up, so we planned to launch the pump just with the factory-fitted alligator clamps. That's how we did it. We did it from our car battery or caravan battery all the time. We didn't have the Anderson option. We always planned to introduce new power options, but we thought that'd be months down the track. But actually, we launched on the Sunday night, and by Monday we'd sold 15 or 20 kits. I had 15 built ready to go, thinking that would last me a month or something. They were all gone by lunchtime on Monday, and customers immediately were asking, I've got I want an Anderson plug, or I want a 12-volt socket and everything. We actually had them in stock and were able to do it, but we just hadn't planned to do it so quick. So within 2 or 3 days, we actually launched, and keeping in mind, we launched with 2 pump kits, universal high flow, with or without a bag, so that's kind of 4 kits. By the end of the week, we had 6 or 8 products, and now we've got 10 and we're heading for 20. We're just adding new products all the time. The customer feedback's really driven that, which has been great. We're very nimble. We're able to just pick that up and run with it, and just it's our own company. We don't have to get approval. We just see a good idea and we launch it immediately if we need to.
Well, you guys are campers too, right? And that's such a benefit because you've got that experience. You've had those experiences yourself. So built by campers for campers, and listening to that customer feedback. Yeah.
So we Monday, we were filling orders for Anderson plug conversions. So now we've got the original 2 kits that are available with or without a bag, so 4 kits essentially. We now have 4 power options. We've got Anderson only. We'll chop the clamps off and fit an Anderson for you. We'll also fit an Anderson to the clamps if you'd like a dual power option. That's option 2.
Okay.
Anderson plus clamps. Option 3 is Anderson plus 12-volt socket. And it's not actually on the website right now, but it will be very shortly. We're doing, I think I'm going to call it the All Power to You bundle. I like that. And it gives you all 3 options. So Anderson, clamps and 12-volt socket. So
that's fantastic. Backups are always a good idea when you're travelling around the country. And it sounds like you've got every camping style covered. It wouldn't matter, who you are and how you're doing it. There's something for you.
Yeah, we actually we thought, it wasn't customer feedback, but we thought very quickly that having 2 power options is good. Having the 3, having the All Power to You bundle is good, because you might have one pump kit that you're sharing between 3 or 4 travellers, whether it's a caravan convoy or mates going fishing or camping for the weekend, and you've got 3 or 4 vehicles, and you could have a situation where you've got an Anderson plug, your other friend's got a 12-volt power option in the back of their canopy, and another friend's got the alligator clamp. So if you have that bundle, then you've got all three options, and you can share the pump between a group.
I love it, covering all bases.
Yep.
I'd buy that kit just because of the name, just quietly. It's very good. All right, now what about the hose? It comes standard with a 2 metre hose. Do you have an extension available for that?
Yes, actually, like day 2 or 3 of launch, a customer said we'd like an extension because we can't get the 4-wheel drive close enough to the caravan with the canopy open. So we just, we filled that order with a 5 metre extension kit. That's now on the website. So 2 metre factory fitted hose. Now, if you purchase the extension, you've got another 5, so 7 metres.
Fantastic.
You might have to get around a vehicle or, vehicle to van, whatever. We thought a 5 metre kit would be good because the 10 metre caravan hose can be a little bit unwieldy to manage, and the 5 you just pull it out and it's just easier to deploy and to pack up.
Yep, no, that's great. Again, something for every situation because every campground is different and access points are different.
Yep.
I know Paul definitely loves having that little bit of extra length. That way we can keep our jerry cans up in the canopy. He doesn't have to lift them out, hurt his back potentially. So thought of it all again. Okay, now the pump's not just submersible. It also has an inline feature. Tell us a little bit more about that and how that works.
Sure, yeah. So the pump, both pumps, the universal and the high flow, they're both gravity fed. They don't have the ability to draw water up, so you can't put a suction hose into the jerry can and draw the water out. It needs to be below the water. So in jerry can it's underwater. If you're transferring from an onboard water tank like you are with your 79 series, you simply take the suction strainer off the bottom of the pump, which is a white cap with holes in the bottom. You take that off and that reveals a 1/2 inch or 12 millimetre hose barb, and so you simply connect a hose from you just plug it in line, and as long as it's gravity fed, the pump will pick it up and transfer that water to where you want it.
Fantastic. Okay, that's great. Now, what about customer service? If there is a problem with a pump, or for instance somebody's jumped on your website and potentially ordered the wrong pump for their situation, talk to us about your customer service.
Yeah, so it's a big deal to us. I started work back in the early 90s when customer service was a big deal, and had old school training in looking after customers, so it's actually a passion of mine. In my 20-year career in the industry, it's always been a focus of mine, customer service. So we're proactive, we try to foresee problems before they happen. But if something slips through, if there's any problems, we just respond immediately and we resolve it. And we want to be a no-worries company where people can deal with us knowing that they'll get backup support and help all the way. And we like to take it easy and just have a smooth system. We don't want to create any problems. So if you have any issues, we can help you out immediately.
Love it. And I mean, that is the camping ethos, right? Well, that's what it should be. You go camping, you don't want any worries, you want it to be laid back. So I love that that's what you've adopted for your business. We've certainly had amazing feedback through our audience and channels on people saying, we couldn't believe it. Alan gave us a call, not long after we even ordered our product. So to have those touch points, I think, is fantastic.
I think 18 months on the road, we came back different people, calm and just enjoying life a lot more. It
does it to you, doesn't it? It's great. So how long generally, if I jump online and order my pump, when can I expect it?
Yeah, so the short answer is we try to fill the orders within a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Obviously, when we get big surges like we've experienced, it blew out to a week, which wasn't a problem because most people aren't in a hurry. But we communicate with you. If it's not going to be dispatched within, let's say, 3 days, we'll send you an email or give you a call and say, hey, we're waiting on canvas bags, or we're just inundated. It'll be a week. But at the moment, a week is the maximum, and 2 or 3 days is the current situation. But it changes because you just wake up one morning and there's 10 orders there, and it might take 3 or 4 days. But work on 2 to 3 days to a week.
Brilliant. And now shipping costs are included, which again is just such a bonus to know what you're up for, and there's no extras when you go to check out, except of course if you're after an express postage option.
Yes, we have an express option on the website. It's $10, and you just order that when you order the pump, and I see that you've got an express request, $10, and we express it for you.
Brilliant.
Yep.
And anywhere around Australia?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole country's covered, from the remotest parts to the city. Yep.
Brilliant. Okay. See, what's not to love about this? Jump on and order your pump. Okay, now something really important, I think, is knowing how to use it properly.
Yeah.
Why do I need to make sure that my vehicle is turned off if I'm using the alligator clip option?
Yes. There's a remote possibility of being a 12-volt electrical motor, under voltage and over voltage is a potential issue. It can be hit and miss, but under voltage is obviously if the pump's not getting the voltage required to start and run, that can be a problem. Doesn't usually happen in a camping situation because the battery's, a 12-volt. They might be running low, but there's always 12-volt there for it. So the over voltage issue it's just a potential issue with a vehicle running. Our 200 series Land Cruiser, for example, with the engine running, with it static, it's 12 volt. With it running, it's running at about 13.8 to 14 volts.
Right.
So potentially 2 volts more than the pump is ideal for. So there's no hard and fast rule. It's just the pump. The motor likes to operate in a range. Mm-hmm. And we like to keep it within as close to 12 volts as possible.
Sure. I mean, you don't want to cook your pump when you're using it for the first time.
No.
Okay.
And it may not happen. It's random, but we just say turn the vehicle off, and it's not an issue for you then. So.
Fantastic. All right, great advice. Now, I'm sure you'll get this question a lot from people, but how much water then can you carry?
Yeah, that's a very individual question. Depends on your complete rig, your payloads and everything. On our trip we had a 22-foot Jayco Journey Outback van, off-road van, and a 200 series Land Cruiser. So our combined GVM was 6.8 tonne, and we worked out that we could carry 5 jerry cans. That was our limit, and 5 was nice for us. The caravan gave us 4 nights off grid, and the 5 jerry cans gave us another 3. So we had a neat 1 week off grid potential before we're looking for water. But it's different for everybody. You might only be able to carry 1 jerry can, and that's okay because that might give you another night off grid. Yeah. It's very variable.
Yeah. So I'd say the best advice here would be to get an understanding of your weights and
Definitely.
what wiggle room you have,
Yeah.
and then you'll know how much you can carry, or having those empty jerry cans to be able to go off and source water fill points.
Yeah, the more the better, but you don't want to overload, that's for sure.
Yes, great advice. Okie dokie. Now, the Adventure Pump is not just for water, well, for drinking water, potable water.
Yeah.
What other types of fluid can you pump?
Yeah, so the pump's capable of pumping diesel, water of any type, potable or non-potable, but also salt water.
Okay.
So the pump can be used in boating situations for deck washdown and bilge, all that sort of thing. But the Adventure Pump kit, this is an important point. The kit, as you see it right now, is a potable water pump. It's not designed for pumping diesel because the hose isn't a diesel-rated hose.
Right.
So I just want to make that clear that we will be bringing out a diesel kit in the future. I just need to actually build that and test it thoroughly before we release it. So, but if you want to buy, you can buy 2 kits, for example, and you could convert that second kit to a diesel hose if you wanted to in the interim. Just go to a pumping and irrigation shop or somewhere that supplies hoses and ask for a diesel rated hose.
Okay.
And you could fit that out yourself because the pump itself is capable of pumping those 3 liquids.
Got it.
Yeah.
Or else wait for the expert to do it for you when it's all in that beautiful pre-packed kit.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic though, knowing that there is another product there available, and particularly for travelling in such remote areas where, access to fuel can be, so far between stops.
Yeah.
Having that diesel pump would be a great product.
Yeah, and also just again, from the diesel point of view, it's saving lifting. Lifting, if you're remote, you want to reduce the possibility of injury as much as you can.
Yep.
So pumping diesel without having to remove the containers, that's another advantage.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now, this is a really important one, and I will admit we made this rookie mistake when we first got our Adventure Pump. But if you are using jerry cans as your water collection device, you need to make sure that the pump will actually fit into the jerry can so you can submerge it. So talk to us about the diameter. What should we be looking for in a jerry can?
Yeah, so the pump diameter is 40 millimetres, and we found that with hose and cable and things on it, 45 is a really neat opening to have. So we used the ProQuip 22 litre, the green, army green jerry can that you use.
Yep, great Aussie product as well.
Yeah, we did 18 months, Gibb River Road, heaps of off-road, tough tracks, and not one container burst on us or gave an issue, so they're really good quality. So it's got a wide neck opening, and it's about 48 millimetres or something like that. So we don't recommend you getting a 40 millimetre opening because the pump won't entertain that. So 42, 43, 45 and above is great.
Okay.
Just a wide neck opening. A lot of jerry cans have a 1 inch or 25 millimetre opening, and there's no way of fitting it in. So
no, that's right. That involves then obviously tipping your jerry cans into a bucket and using the pump that way, which we did for a little while until we got the ProQuip as well.
Yeah, and if customers have that problem, well then the bucket's fine. You can tip it into the bucket and then pump it from the bucket into the van. Not an issue.
Yeah, it's actually a great way to see the pump in action, and we've done this a few times when we've been filming with the pump as well. It really gives you that perfect view of just how quick the pump works and how quickly that water transfers in.
Yeah, it's very versatile.
Excellent. All right, well, I mean, you've touched on other products coming, but what about future plans for Adventure Pumps?
Yeah, so our plan now, now that we've settled down, my wife is a qualified accountant working in the corporate world, and we have 4 weeks annual leave a year. So we're planning to set up the 200 series as a standalone camper.
Fantastic.
So that we can keep it loaded all the time. And if the weather's good or something comes up, you guys are in town, we can just shoot off on a Friday night and spend the weekend away. So we're looking for ideas to fit out the cruiser. We've never done that before. We're looking for drawers, fridge, bat wing, 270-degree awning, and rooftop tent, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're thinking probably mid-year we'll get onto that.
Fantastic.
And do a lot of research and try and fit it up so that we can just shoot off at a moment's notice, or if we have annual leave and we can get away for 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something, we can do an extended trip as well. We actually want to do the Gibb River Road again.
Yes, we might need to entice you guys to come and do that with us.
Oh, we'd love to. That'd be awesome. So we spent 14 nights on the Gibb, and it was just amazing. And looking back, we think, why didn't we stay for 28 nights? You know, with the Adventure Pump extended off-grid living, we could have done that. But for some reason, you know, we're nervous about the track, and we did it easy with no damage. But we should have extended it. So we want to go back and do some things. We also had Tassie, our adventure dog, with us, and we couldn't do a lot of the waterfalls.
Sure.
So we'll go back without Tassie and probably spend a month up there, I think, and do the Kimberleys again.
Brilliant. All right, well, we need to schedule that in for
Absolutely.
some time in the upcoming
It won't,
year.
won't be hard to talk us into it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Alan. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you, and hopefully we've answered some of those questions that you may have in regards to the Adventure Pumps. And I'm sure we'll do some more of these videos, you know, over the next little while, and keep bringing you this great information on the Adventure Pumps products.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. It's been wonderful.